Hello and welcome back to the Sports Centre YouTube channel. Me and Carl are here today talking about the one and only Mikel Arteta, sorry.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Where to start with him? I'm not going to say it, but technically we left the door ajar open for him and they just shut it in their own face, losing at home to West Ham, and effectively, you might say title's all but done.
Ooh, Daniel. I do
Well,
tend to agree, but there will be some more slip ups, I think.
I definitely think they will, but my point on today is the fact that it's all of Arsenal's own making, though.
It is. But it's not just players, it's not just coach. It's down to the recruitment board, the board of recruitment and everything. It's fundamental. It's the whole club. But it's only going to be manager that gets the cam.
Well, obviously, the big thing is, don't get me wrong, they've got a shit ton of injuries. It happens, you know.
No, they've got four injuries, haven't they? The fact that it's all in the same position, it's all the front line in it. That's the
Yeah,
issue.
but that's where you come back to the fact. Well, hang on a minute. You're supposed to be a team that's competing on all fronts. You're supposed to be a team that's challenging Man City, that's waiting for Man City to slip up so you can be there to pounce. You need to assemble a squad good enough to be able to compete on all fronts because, as you say, your title chasing side, shall we call them?
Yeah, right. And I do agree with you. But the four we're talking Saka, Martinelli, Havertz, and Jesus, them
Yep,
four all injured.
yep.
Now let's say Salah, Gakpo, Jota, and Nunes were all injured. What would you do?
Yeah, well, we've got the people behind them to fit in. Don't
Who
get me wrong.
who who?
Who did you say we're out? Salah, Gakpo.
Salah, Gakpo, Jota, and Nunes. Where's your goals coming from?
Well, we signed Chiesa, but he never plays. Um,
So no good.
we've got Diaz.
Don't really score. So what I'm trying to get at is if it's really really bad luck. I don't think you can account for all four of your front line
No.
going on getting injured. I think there's a lot of bad luck in there. That doesn't get away from they had to sign a striker
Well,
last summer, this January. All, but it is a lot of bad luck. I feel.
it is bad luck, but you kind of just answered my next point. And then it's like everyone in the football world knew that Arsenal needed a striker. Everybody, and
Yeah,
I've made a bit of a list here, right, of strikers that moved in the summer, and even potential ones that they could have been looking at as a stopgap. So the strikers that moved in the summer, right? You had Ivan Toney for 40 million quid. Fair enough. He went and chased the money to Saudi, but you could have dangled the carrot there. He's played 18. These are all league stats. Played 18. He scored 11, albeit in the Saudi Pro League. You've got Victor Osimhen. He moved on loan to Galatasaray. He's played 19 games, 14 goals. You've
they've been
got
linked with him for ages as well.
fucking bite. Get him then. Do you know what I mean? You know you need someone. Dom Solanke won't be my first choice, but listen, he could probably do a better job than some of what they've got. He's
Yeah,
60 million quid, 18 games, seven, and then Julian Alvarez as well. I think, these are all players that I say you, Arsenal should have been looking at. And then I've even gone for some, uh, some budget players as well, Carl, just to really kind of put some meat on the bone. So, obviously, Solanke went to Spurs. So, Evan Nielsen from Porto, 40 million quid. I don't think he's a world class striker by any stretch, but he's a striker that could definitely have played 20, 25 games for him in a 60-game season, potentially. Fulkrug that went to West Ham. Again, not a world beater, but definitely someone that could have boosted their squad.
yeah.
Um, Lukaku, one that's moved this summer from Chelsea, 25 million. I think he wanted to go to Italy, but for 25 million quid, you take a gamble on him? And then the other one, which is a bit left field, this one, but I thought Raul Jimenez for Fulham. I mean, he's been dog shit since he obviously had that injury, but last couple of seasons, he's actually done all right. And I think, do you know what? Up until he had that injury, he was a really good striker for Wolves.
There we are.
And he's coming good again. And I just think this is me literally doing best part of 15, 20 minute research. Like, and I'm sure Arsenal board have done the due diligence. I'm sure they have. Do you know what I mean? Who am I? But still, there's like eight players there that you think they could have all boosted your squad and all within the realms of Arsenal, I'd say.
Completely agree. But one thing I would add to that is where's their academy? If they've got nobody in academy that's like under
Coming
21s,
through.
that you know whether they're ready or not, they need somebody. Chuck them in.
Well, one that flabbergasted me, well, why take Sterling? He obviously don't trust him. He don't fancy him. Never plays him.
Never
Ster-
plays him.
Sterling's even played as a false nine at
False
City
nine
numerous times.
for near enough a full season for
And then he
City,
and then he plays Marino as a fucking false striker. I'm like, what are you doing?
and then said he's never played there before in his career ever.
And this harks back to my Fraudiola claim because he's just trying to be a fucking poor man's Pep and like, oh, I'll play someone out, like he did with Mascherano all them years ago. But Pep's Pep, mate. You ain't Pep. You might have worked for him, but you're not him.
Yeah, I agree. I don't, I don't know whether I don't know how long it's going to be before he comes under real pressure from his own fans.
Soon, I'm
Do
telling
you
you.
think?
Yeah, absolutely soon. Um, I also think it's embarrassing as well the fact that he talks about the Community Shield as a big trophy. Like, get the fuck out of here, mate. Do you know what I mean?
It's a friendly.
Exactly. And look,
It's a warm-up match for start of the season.
they're still in Champions League. I don't know if they, I imagine they're still in FA Cup. I think
Nope.
are
Out
they
at
out?
FA Cup.
Right.
Out
So
at FA Cup.
so we're saying then that potentially it's Champions League looking at. I just can't see it with their squad at the moment. They ain't getting anywhere near that Champions League. And look, I
They're
could be
not.
wrong. I could be wrong, but I just think end of this season. I
Could be
think
another trophyless season for him. Simple as
I
another
think
trophyless season.
I honestly think he's going to be under massive pressure. And look, I know me and you were we listened to Talksport a hell of a lot. I had someone on there today saying basically that they're going to win fuck all with him, and I know we take piss out of managers and players and stuff like that, but no one likes to see people lose their jobs and shit, do you? But I just think it's going to come to a point soon where they're going to be like, you can't continue to just be the first loser. You can't keep coming second every year and thinking that it's all right.
He is the ultimate bridesmaid for me.
It is absolutely. I think, and it really it pleases me as well. Obviously, doubly that I'm a Liverpool fan. That it were Arsenal's to if ever City slip up, Arsenal are going to win it. Arsenal are going to be
Yes.
there,
Yeah.
and then we've just come in back door and just been like,
But to be fair, there's been a lot of. I mean, I was certainly one of them people. I tipped Arsenal to win it this year.
yeah,
I think there were a lot of football fans that tipped Arsenal because they were so good last year. But I think it were Havertz finished the season really well, didn't he? I think he scored. He went on a little scoring flourish, so they were like, "Oh, do we need to sign a striker? We're all right with Havertz." But
yeah, but even having like Jesus as his backup, I'm like, Jesus is not a prolific goal scorer. He's not gonna. There's a reason why Pep let him go.
well, exactly.
Mm.
Well, I just there's everything about Arteta that makes me think you're a wannabe. You're trying to be something that you're not, and all that does is puts his personality across to people that end up turning on him and thinking you're a fucking not liking him.
Mm.
I can't explain exactly what I mean, but he's not a likable person, is he?
Well, he's come and look. I know we have crack on here and we have jokes and that, but he's obviously a good coach. Like, let's have it right. He's a good coach. Um, but he comes out with some shit, like the excuse with the ball when Newcastle beat him and all that kind of stuff, and you're just like, come on, mate. It's like you can't be coming out with stuff like that. You just can't.
No. I mean, nobody likes losing, but he's one bad loser, moody man.
As Roy Keane would say, big baby.
Yeah, I can't deal with him. I don't think any football fan likes him unless you're an Arsenal fan.
Mm.
I think he grates on everyone. You won't want him in part of your club. You won't want him managing your club.
No, I think you're right. I think he's a bad loser, a really bad loser. I mean, like, I suppose what's
What's
that
the
saying?
saying? What's the saying? Show me a loser. It's
Show me a
something
good
like
loser, and I'll show you.
a loser.
Yeah, basically, yeah, something like that. But it's we will see. Like I say, I dare say
But,
the league's not done yet, but I just think Arsenal have just absolutely missed a massive
oh,
trick here by not signing a striker.
so if he doesn't win anything, does he start next season?
I think he will do, and from my point of view, fair enough. But I think I think the summer will be defining, and especially if they don't get, they have to. There's no way that Arsenal go through another summer without signing a striker. But the problem is, you're going to get that Arsenal tax now because everyone knows you want a striker. So it's going to be a case of, all right, well, we value him at 60, stick another 10, 15 on that Arsenal.
Well, they're constantly linked to it. Isak, aren't they? What do you think they'll get him? What do you think?
There's more chance of Liverpool signing him than Arsenal. Telling you now, Liverpool have been for a striker in the summer because Nunes will go.
Yeah,
I dare say we might. Diaz is always kind of linked away. I hope he don't go. To be fair, but I honestly, Jota's hardly ever fit. Can't rely on him. Slots basically starting with two midfielders as false nines against City. So
yeah.
you don't trust Nunes, don't trust Jota. So he's going to be at market for a striker. And listen, we might not be able to afford Isak. Who knows? Isak might want to stay at Newcastle. You could beat us in Carabao. You could get in Champions League, and he thinks, well, why do I want to move? But I guarantee, I bet my last quid that Liverpool are in with a chance on him before Arsenal are.
I think the only thing I think why it won't go to Liverpool is simply because Liverpool don't really splash that sort of money that I think Newcastle are going to warrant.
Mm.
Whether Arsenal, they've not obviously they did it with Rice, but I think that's really the only time they spent big sort of money. No, there's Pepe maybe, but they're not going to. I can't see anybody affording him.
Well,
Anybody?
Arsenal spent a fair bit of money in summer as well, didn't they? I think they spent close to 100 million. I think Marino were like 35, 40 million or something.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Calafiori as well. So I don't think they were far off. And all the PSR stuff that comes into play now. So
Twitching.
people can't be spending that kind of money. But we shall see. See how the season unfolds. But I think he'll still be there next season. But I do think that the heat.
Christmas, do you think he'll be under
I just
some
think
Christmas? Do you think he might be under pressure?
I just think that coming towards the end of this season, if the title race continues to go how it is, and Liverpool are kind of semi running away with it, I think there'll become some real pressure on him. I really do, and we've all seen kind of how quickly it escalates with Arsenal fans. With Wenger or that time, and I think rightly so with Arteta as well. I think it's come to a point where you're like, you fucking had a chance this season, mate. You had a massive chance. City hadn't
Yeah.
just slipped. City have fallen bad, and you want there to capture it.
City are fucking dreadful this year. I just want to
Mm,
put that there.
yeah,
Dreadful. I know they smashed us over week, but they are fucking dreadful.
yeah, they were poor. Well, they didn't even look like scoring against us yesterday. Not in a
They
million.
are so boring to watch. Fucking dull, slow, boring team.
We'll save that one for another podcast, Carl.
Okay.
Arsenal fans, let us know. Arteta, is he still your man? Are you behind him? How long's he got left? If he does stay at the club, and how desperate are you for a striker? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one. Catch you later.